Hello and welcome to Codeeze Radio Workshop. On the bench today we have the Roberts RT22. RT being radio transistor, model number 22. Easy as that. So it is just a case now of opening it up and popping it on the current limited power supply and finding out what's what. These aren't the best crock clips in the world, but they do work occasionally. So there we are, power applied, 9 volts on the power supply, current limited. Turn the volume right down just in case, and it's drawing 15 milliamps. And the volume pot's crackly, but we have sound, so that's good. Taking off the volume knob, just pull that off, get some of your favourite switch cleaner. I don't use anything expensive, it's usually what I can find cheapest, and drizzle some down inside the plastic shaft. Not a lot, we are just talking drizzles. And with the set switched off, then with the volume on low again, pop it back onto the station. Again, we just check the power supply.
Sorry, hard at work tonight, but I think after many weeks,
that's a bit better.
I finally found out who it is. It's Jesse J.
Now we need a knob on here to make the tuning a little easier, and here's one I prepared earlier from my spares. I do have a couple of RT22 spares sets. Here's one. I'll just pinch the knob off that one, off there. And also another one which I might come to at the end of this. So that's that on that. We're on VHF. The volume's turned up again now. This is with the aerial down.
Yeah, it is hardly with.
Little bit scratchy on the tuning capacitor inside, which is a polyvaricon. Right, let's try her with the aerial up now and go from that extreme to the other one.
Is there an Asda? The house I grew up in.
And medium flavour.
On issues that on a day-to-day basis. Sinn Féin's housing spokesperson.
Van's been injured and he gives them a lot.
Oh, and we've just lost another top. But this is long flavour now.
I mean, I'm sure there will be more voices on that, given the results.
Pop the aerial down.
There's only 2 voices, but then the whole is going to be that
And just angle the set for the best reception. After we've just lost the power. So I think we had RTE.
Tommy Lasses. Is this one I remember? Haggerty was bent over his plate.
Anyway, yeah, we're good, and the aerial is straight. So, it's working. Normally, you would see many people just say, yeah, it's working, clean it up, and that'll do. But I like to have a look inside, so that's what we're going to do. You never know. You might see something really obvious that needs attention, might see nothing at all. I can't get that tuning knob off now. Let's try trusty old spudger. And we'll also try the trusty new spudger as well if I can't get... there we go. So they do just pull off. The handle, it's only kind of a snap fit. So, sharp tap on one end. Oh, really sharp tap on the other. There we go. And then these just, the arms just lever outwards. And the same on the other side. And the handle just removes. You can see the retainer. It's kind of like a screw fit. Or a screw recess, which is what these slot into. So that's that done. Now, there are two screws inside, one on either end, and I will get a suitable driver. I say a suitable one because it's never the same one, no matter what I try. And all we need to do is just loosen them. You don't need to take them out completely. You can already see cobwebs inside here. Zoom you down, have a look. Just on there. Trying to catch it in the right light for you. There we can see. So it does need a clean up inside. So we now loosen off the screw on the other side, and when that's loose you also need to release the aerial, so you need to unscrew that screw for the aerial completely. Now that one wasn't so bad. Sometimes these screws people have been in before. I don't know whether you can see the head on that, it's not brilliant. And then we should be able to push the radio using a suitable non-sharp implement. Remove the speaker wires. And then what we shall need to do then is to loosen off the jack plug on the side. Using the correct tool for the job, which isn't a pair of pliers. It's usually just a case of cracking the seal on the thread seal. Push that through, pull, and it's withdrawn. Try and keep us in the middle. So there's the case on one side now. So looking inside, we've got signature on the module, JK. I always like to look at those. It's who's responsible for the final assembly. And then look at the board. Everything on there looks okay. Whilst I'm just waiting for the desolderer to heat up, I thought that I would take this apart the way that I like to do it, so that I can work on the board. So first off, I just need to remove both of these, one from this side, one from the other side. I need to bend the tab down at the top and just slide it off. You can see just on the other side it's actually angled upwards, and that stops it coming off. A pair of pliers, straighten it out, and that one was a bit more snug, but it's just wiggled off. So that's those. The next thing I like to do is to remove the aerial. So it has the aerial clip which clips onto the shaft of the aerial, and just clips off obviously too, and then push up and withdraw through the top of the radio, and that's the aerial off. So the next thing to do is to remove the dial face. Now sometimes you can just clip these off, and other times you have to, there we go, other times you have to remove the station marker bar in order to remove it, but that's that removed, and we'll pop that on one side and give that a clean a little later. Next, and this is the scary bit, is there's one capacitor over here. It's a 2.2 UF cap, and you can't get to it because of the module on the other side. So tentatively remove the two screws here, remove the two screws holding the wave bank, and then we should be able to angle the board away from the module. So that now means that we should be able to pop that board up, and we can, just to access the underside. Now to do this properly, I need to desolder some wires to be able to withdraw the board, but with the benefit of experience I can actually desolder that now that I've got just enough access by moving the board. So I can get my soldering iron in there, not the desoldering gun, but I can get my soldering iron, my apologies, in there, and I'm able to remove that cap. We'll remove and test some of these capacitors. Sometimes I just lift a leg and test them as they are there in the board, but it's just as easy, I think, on an easily accessible board such as this one, to just remove the cap completely. So remembering the orientation plus going to this edge of the board. Now one of my top tips, especially if you're new to doing things like this or you're not super confident, is to get a Sharpie marker, a red one, just mark the edge of the board for the polarity, red obviously being positive. So we'll pull the peak meter down, and we'll test this cap. So this should be a 220 and it's 363, so that's gone high, so I'm glad that we pulled that anyway. So there we are, all recapacitated. Proof of the pudding, as they say, is in the eating. So we need to get this back together. I will start with the bigger screws. See, really, it only took seconds, didn't it? For you. And then we will put the wave change screws back in, just into the top. And we'll connect up an external speaker. Black to green, obviously. I'm sure they did this for fun. And we'll also connect up a wire for the aerial, picking a different colour, just so we've got an aerial on there for FM reception. And we will now apply some current limited power again, but this time, instead of going for the full 9-volt Monty, we'll ramp it up slowly just in case I've made any errors. Shouldn't they? But better. So we'll start at just a couple of volts and go on to FM. And we'll start winding the volts up. Yep, 4 volts now. 5, 6,
and some
7,
people, like my constituent, have now, through
8,
all the trauma of this, found themselves in a situation where their
9.
mental health is so affected.
That's
they're
the
going
full
to be
9
unable
volts
to hold
now.
down a job again.
Just
She
temporarily
argued compensation should also take into account
put
not
the
just money
tuning knob
lost.
on.
Debut with Annie Mac earlier on. Also, a little app remix to play you as well. After this from...
That does sound so much better.
I made a promise to you.
And yeah, them accept, of course.
Most definitely.
Medium.
So he talks about.
It's Jeff.
And long. That's already better. The reception there for RTE is much better.
It is a problem, but they're unlicensed.
So there we go. There's the radio electrically working. But as an interim, in between me doing the alignment and putting the radio back into its case, I thought we would test the capacitors that are removed from the RT22. And this first one that I've got here is a well, it says it's a 220. It's a 10-volt cap. 364. So that's gone way high. And the next one, this will be the 2.2 at 63 volts, and that is 3.32, so that's gone high. The next one is a 100. It's a 25 volt cap. That was 147, so that's gone way high. This tiny one here is, I'm trying to remember actually without looking. No, it's a 4.7 at 63 volts. 9.06. So that's had it. 2 more to go, which is another 220. 10 volt cap, this one. 348. Again, way high. So, although at the beginning the set was working, this is my favourite one out of the set. It's all started to peel off. This was a 470 at 6.3 volts, I think it is. $692. So all of the caps that I removed went really high. Back again shortly when the radio is back into the case. And all we have left to do now is to pop a battery in it and give it a try. Cosmetically it's looking a lot better. It's not perfect, it's not going to be perfect. This thing's, you know, almost as old as me. It's almost 21. But, you know, it's had a life and so have I. I've got some bumps and scrapes and it's got some bumps and scrapes, so yeah, we go together really quite well. Cosmetically, yeah, it's really nice. It's come up really well. Got a nice grain on the cheeks, particularly this one. I really like that. But I digress. Let's make sure that we are switched off, and this time we're going for a battery. And today's battery is a Tweed battery, refilled or restuffed by my own fair hand, because I really dislike buying PP9 batteries nowadays that don't seem to last anywhere as long as the originals did. There we go. Anyway, volume all the way down. Let's have the aerial up, because we'll go for VHF first. Sounds wonderful, that. Can't hang about too long on
This
popular songs.
Final straw.
We were on camera in 2015.
The rich going to work. In Heaven Bridge.
There we are. There is the RT22, completely done. If you've liked what you've seen, click the thumbs up button. Love seeing the thumbs up button. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, why not? There will be more Roberts radios coming up shortly. Thank you very much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.